All right, let's talk a little bit about finding assignments and turning them in. So where do you find all your assignments, right? The assignments are down here. And there's a couple things that are in here, by the way. This is sort of like a live, uh, active schedule. So what that means is we're doing chapters 1, 2, and 3 in week 0. That's what I'm calling this week before the semester starts. And I'm assigning worksheet 2B as something for you to do because in principle, you already know how to do it at this point. We'll see. I'll be there tomorrow to see you guys. Now, homework. A couple places you can find it. Easiest way is to click here. And then you want to click here. Because this is actually the module. I talked about there's modules for this class. This is the actual modules. It should probably be in student view for this. Let me do that real quick. All the way up here. There's a lot of modules. I find that this gets like super confusing for people. Okay, so, and ignore these modules down here. This is what it looks like if you're taking a summer class. This is 4 weeks, the whole semester in 4 weeks. It's quite painful, I'll just tell you. And I also have the study materials down in modules, but I have pages for that too, so I'll show you that in a second. Okay, let's hide all that stuff. Homework problems by addition. Now, in the college, a lot of times students don't have books, so I provide the problems from the 4th edition because somebody scanned it in a long time ago. For the homework, right? But you guys at Sanger High have the book, and it's the 6th edition. So you want the 6th edition problems. What you do is you do this. Click this button. And that'll take you to a PDF file, basically, or you notice this is PDF, of the homework problems. So this is what you'll be doing. So let's say I finished chapters 1 and 2 in a lecture. That means these are the homework problems. You notice there's chapter 2, scientific notation and significant figures, and there's also chapter 2, unit conversions and density. The chapters are broken up by topics. And so to help you with the topics and like knowing what the questions are about, what I've done is I've go ahead and separated out. Now this can be confusing for students because I say, oh, here's chapter 1, here's chapter 2, I'm done, right? No, there's another section in chapter 2. Chapter 3, it's a lot clearer that it's that way because in chapter 3, there's actually 3 sections. And this is what you should be working on as we cover the topics in lecture. So when I talk about classifying matter, for example, you would be able to look at questions 31 through 43 and do those problems. If you see something on conservation of mass and you would say, oh, he did conservation of mass, I can do problem 47. That's the way why it's broken out like this. Now, having said that, when I finish a unit, right, that's chapter 2, for example, or chapter 1 and 2, that's a unit together, then all those problems are due typically the first day of the week of the following week. Now, having said that, what does it look like, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you problems from the 4th edition. By the way, these are, I don't know if you've noticed, these are all odd-numbered problems. And you'll notice this one says percent hydrated in water. This actually goes with this stuff here. See, this is polyatomic ion hydrates. You do these problems. These ones don't have answers in the back of your book. But it turns out all of these problems have answers in the back of your book. So let me talk a little bit about how you handle that, right? So let's go back to this file. I just want to show you this. Now, you have the book, so you don't have to worry about this, but I did this for the college students. Like I said, they don't always have the resources needed to have a book, so you guys are really lucky just to have the book from the very beginning. There's a bunch of questions in here, right? So let's say question 1, why does soda fizz? And let's say that was one I assigned. If you go to the back of your book, this is a PDF. This is the back of the book, all right? Chapter 1. Notice 1, 3, 5, 7. The answers are all here. So let's say assign question 1. You would read this if you can't answer it on your own, and then try to understand what it says, and then paraphrase that and write that down. Okay. This stuff that's factual, right? It's like statements. You have to understand why it is and be able to recall information about those topics. I'm not particularly interested in that one minutia about something, but I'm interested in about that area that you study it, okay? So what are the properties of solids, right? Or you need to know what all the properties of solids are. What are the properties of liquids? You need to know all the properties of liquids. But let's say I don't ask you about gases. Well, the question on solids implies that you need solid liquids and gases, and so you should be able to reiterate all of that stuff, and it'll all be in the textbook. Most of the time it'll be in the homework or on the practice tests, okay? I'll talk about that in a second. Okay, so my expectation is, like, these problems, chemistry is very quantitative, and so you'd be doing a lot of calculations. You'll notice, like, there's just numbers here. They don't really say anything about how you do it. Your job is to do the problem, show the work that you did, and get an answer. Now, what I expect you to do is to do the problem on paper, get an answer, go to the back of the book, and if you get the right answer, put a box around it and check it that you checked it. Okay? It talks about that in a homework video, but just do the work, show the answer that you got from it, box it and check it to show that you checked it. And if you don't get the answer, that's a good thing to ask me in a class. Like, say, hey, Dr. K, I didn't get that answer. I don't understand how you got it, and I'll take the time to explain it. I don't explain everything in class because I know some things you'll just figure it out on your own, and I don't need to waste time on that. But there are some things where I didn't explain it that are much more difficult that maybe I forgot to say that maybe you'll need some help with. So you need to be active in your learning and find those things and bring them to my attention. All right. Anyways, yeah, you can see there's a lot of numbers. Who guessed? Chemistry class. All right. Let's go back. So you'll do that, but you have the 6th edition textbook. You'll just work out of your textbook, so that's fine. Go back to the home page. Let's see. I can't even remember what I was talking about, to be honest with you. So that's how you find the homework. Oh, and about turning in assignments, that's actually going to be this video. This is the one I did for the college. All you're going to do is you're going to do it on paper and turn it in on paper. Every assignment's going to be that way. Typically, the day after, first day after we finish a chapter, typically the beginning of the next week, right? That's when you turn it in. Now, let's say you get it turned in, not on Monday, but you get it turned in on Tuesday. That's fine. I don't care that much. There's a lot of teachers who care a lot. I care that you fit it into your schedule and you get it done. Okay. Now, if it's the Monday of the following week, then I'll start taking points off just for being late, and I won't necessarily be able to check it in time because I have 90 students and I usually get 3 assignments to 4 assignments per week per student, and I just fall behind right away if I have to keep going back and looking at the old stuff that got turned in. It'll just stay in a pile somewhere until I get a chance to check through it really quickly. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Hopefully I can stay on top of things, but been doing this for close to 30 years, so I kind of know what's going to happen if people turn stuff in late all the time. All right. So yeah, you're going to turn it on paper. So there's no like online submission. Now, every assignment does have an online submission. I didn't want to go through and change all of those because my hope is at some point that we can do this on our campus where stuff turned in online isn't such a big deal for me, but it's fine. Right. Okay. So let's see here. Have I talked about exams yet? I wish you were here to tell me. This is why I hate hybrid classes, to be honest with you. You'll notice there's the chapter stuff here, and each one of these is actually a lecture. Like I put a lecture with lecture notes, right? And this is for chapters 1 through 4 lectures. And if you were in my like online class, this is what you would be using. I just included it because this tells you like oh, I forgot about significant figures. I can go do that. Or I forgot about calculations with significant figures. Oh, I could do that, right? There's just quick places for you to look. But that's chapters 1 and 2, and there's that for every chapter. So for example, chapter 3, if you click on it, has the same thing, composition of matter. This identify characteristic, this, I don't know why that is not an actual title. It's not a title, neither is that one. It's supposed to be titles there. These YouTube videos all have titles. But anyways, that's where you'd find that stuff. Homework, right? Again, you know where that is. Let's see. I don't know if there's anything else. Right. And the labs are all over here, so you have to go to the labs and download a file and do it. And there might be, like I said in the other video, might be a pre-lab, might be post-lab questions, and there's definitely a report and a data sheet. So you need to print all those things out and do them and turn them in by Friday of that week. Our labs are on Wednesdays. You get a little time to do it in the evening, and the next day is Thursday, so we don't meet. With the first 3 weeks we do, but normally we won't meet, and so you have to turn it in by Friday at the beginning of class. Okay. Don't worry about the start assignment thing that's up here. You'll never have to use it because you're turning it in. This is for if you're going to submit an assignment online. All right. Anything else? Here's exam 1. And I don't know if I said this in the other video or not, but if you click on it, there's a practice test for every chapter. And you can go through and do it. There's no penalty. There's no points. And then there's other things that you should have memorized for this exam, this elements, symbols, and names, right? And then this is a practice quiz. Like if you want to go through and actually do like, oh, I want to take the quiz and practice, see what I know, you can go through and take this, okay? Unlimited attempts. This is actually worth points. So, yeah. But it's a practice for the test. I won't penalize you if you don't get it done, but it's there. And then this page tells you what information you're given on the test. This is all you're given for the first exam. You notice there's no names on any of these. So you'll have to know those names that are listed here. Elements and symbols to memorize. All right. So that's a little bit about assignments and turning in assignments, where you find your assignments and where you turn them in. And again, this is the calendar, and if you want the materials for any particular thing, you just have to click on it. You'll notice there's a lab quiz that's down here. I haven't built those out yet, but you'll have a lab quiz on lab safety, experiments 3 and experiment 1. Those are the things that we'll have done in weeks 1 and 2 of the semester. And so there'll be a short quiz based on the observations or calculations that you did in these 2 experiments. So if you have any questions, just contact me through Canvas and let me know.